And sorry for the delay. I know I did a quick intro. It is on our homepage. So if you'd like to watch that when this is all done, go ahead and watch that. But just as, I guess, a reminder, I'm going to be chatting with Leah Lagos, renowned health and performance psychologist. Really excited for her to join the conversation. I'm going to be waiting for her to watch in. As soon as she's watching, I'm going to send her a quick invitation to join so we can get this started. I have a lot of questions for her, so I'm really excited to hear from her. So give us a couple seconds here, and we'll go from there. And once again, the intro, I did save it on our homepage. If you want to watch that after this is all done, please go ahead. And as a reminder, chatting with Leah Lagos, who is an internationally renowned health and performance psychologist. So as soon as she's watching, I'll give her an invite. There she is.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Thank you. All completed our calm.
We did it. We did it. We're chatting. We're chatting. So I did a little intro for you so everyone knows what you're all about. I'm extremely excited to have this conversation, and I do think it is extremely fitting because stress levels are very high for a ton of business owners and leaders as things start to reopen. So what I have here for you, Leah, is a couple questions. I'd love to go through them with you. And
Great.
then, okay, let's see where it goes. Okay. So the first one here is, as we chatted about before, our audience is full of people looking to grow and scale their business, which can be very stressful.
100%.
So, how can they prepare themselves to best handle stress when that arises?
First of all, let's expect it. The one thing in life I can promise you, no matter who you are and what you do, is stress. It happens to all of us, and yet it's something we don't necessarily planned for in terms of putting together plans and ways to manage the moment. So one of the most effective, free, and powerful ways you can manage stress is actually by controlling your heart rhythms. And you're thinking, heart rhythms? I've heard of positive self-talk, cognitive reframing, mindfulness, but why heart rhythms? When we are able to actually control the nuances of our heart rate oscillations, when we inhale, our heart rate goes up, when we exhale, it goes down. These are like ocean-like waves. When we're calm, we're in flow. In those moments of high reactivity, they completely change. Our heart rate variability changes, which is an index of our ability to perform at our peak and reset. And the breathing strengthens the entire body's ability to reset. It's called amplifying heart rate variability. So the words take a breath are good, but doing systematic breathing 20 minutes twice a day yields significant changes in our stress response, allowing us to be calmer under those critical moments.
Now, can something like meditation get people into that habit?
It can, but this is like expediting years of. So a lot of people will say, well, I don't have 3 to 5 years to work on meditation where this becomes ingrained. And meditation's wonderful, but this is a systematic process to glean many of those benefits and more in only 10 weeks.
Got it. Understood. Thank you for that. Now, what are some signs that, you're becoming overworked or stressed? Like, can you identify those out the gate?
Absolutely. People have different ways of responding. Some people are really cerebral responders. Their mind gets funny. They either got overly focused, that like myopic, I'm stuck, I can't think of anything else thought, or the converse, where I call it swirls running around the mind, and you can't catch any of them. You're ineffective because you're not able to flexibly respond in the moment. For other people, it's cardiovascular reactivity. These are the people that their heart, they can feel is just pounding, pounding, pounding. And during moments of stress, unexpected challenge, their heart rate bumps up 20 to 40 beats higher than it is at baseline. And yet there's others whose hands become clammy, that they all of a sudden restrict blood flow internally, and their hands become cold.
Interesting. I think I just overeat. But you know what? I do agree with you. You know, sometimes the hands get clammy and whatnot. So understanding how to breathe and control that can really just bring a calmness to your body and mind, right?
100%. And what you said actually was very important, because so many people overeat. I call it the COVID-15. And there's research that came out from David Frederick's group of professor on the West Coast in California. And he suggested that the number one reason for the COVID-15, which is actually becoming a known term, is stress and not being able to manage it. And as such, people reach for food, and they're not able to actually regulate that impulsivity, that need to try and fill up the stress or replace it with something else, is unconscious and hardwired, and you reach for food. So this actually, if you were in my office, I would say to you, this would help tighten the regulation if you do the 20 minutes twice a day. But we could also create a rule that in the moment, before you go into your kitchen or wherever food is stored, that you make a pact that you have to take 10 breaths. And then if you it, you can, but you have more self-control.
I love that. I love that. And I think it's, you know, just from my, you know, just thinking from the outside, you know, it could be food, but it could be another vice, right? It could be cigarettes, alcohol. Yeah, right. So interesting. Gambling, exactly. I love that. You know,
sorry, go ahead.
No, after you.
So it's I'm loving this, the direction it's going, because there's so many people right now who isn't under stress. Everything's changed. There's less exercise. People are working greater hours. They thought the commute was gone. Well, guess what? The workday just got extended exponentially. And
absolutely.
And stress is a real thing, and it changes how our brain functions. And so does breathing. Even 10 breaths can make a change in that ability to reduce what's called beta in the brain, sending more oxygen to the frontal lobe, which controls emotional regulation, things like inhibiting impulses. So the concept of breathing itself shifts your physiology. And what we're talking about is shifting your physiology to shift your psychology.
Love that. Love that. So how do you suggest our audience listening in, how do you suggest they handle, you know, handle stress?
To consider stress as something you have to address in your body. We traditionally, doctor of clinical psychology by trade, have addressed stress as if it's in the mind. Wrong. Stress lives in the body. You can do lots of positive self-talk, cognitive reframing. I practice those skills with my clients. But first, you have to address the body. If your heart is racing and you can't bring it back down, all of the positive self-talk doesn't adjust that, and you will be stressed. So thinking about how to address the physiology of stress in your body. Breathing is one way, exercise is another, stretching is another. It's funny, music. Everybody has certain music that creates a sense of calm and safety in them. It's another way to innervate the body.
I love that. Listen to your body.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
I love that. I love that. So you worked with elite men and women in business and sports. So I know we chatted before, and I mentioned that I was a professional athlete, and I found that a lot of what I was learning, you know, playing hockey, I utilize it every day in my work life now. So the question is, do you find that your clients who are athletes are looking, you know, looking to achieve similar things as those that are as those business leaders that you're working with? You know, are there similarities in what they're trying to achieve?
A lot of similarities. So I worked only with athletes, you know, for the first half of my career. And then the business world came after me. They said, Doc, we want what the athletes have, which is being able to perform at their peak under pressure. And you look at it and you step back and you're like, who in life doesn't want that? You can be a mother at home. You can be someone who, you know, transports people. Everyone is looking for that ability to consistently perform at their full level of skill. And people opening businesses making decisions day after day want to be able to tap into their analytical ability, that ability to pivot and see things objectively instead of emotionally. So I would absolutely say that this process is valuable to anybody in terms of performing at their peak.
Now, through your experience, do you find that athletes make great business leaders?
I do. And if I were a business leader, I would hire athletes.
Athletes, right?
And the reason is that athletes have created success based on habit, routine, dedication, focus. Many of them have cultivated interpersonal skills working as a member of a team. So there's a structure embedded in being an athlete that I think is just so incredibly valuable in the business world.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, how can someone ensure that they're working at their peak potential? Because that's one thing that scares me. Someone once asked me, well, what scares you the most? And I'm like, unfulfilled potential. Like, I want to make sure I'm doing, I'm at my peak and I'm performing and I'm the best version of myself all the time. So how can someone just be tapped into the fact that they're working at their peak?
I love this question. And there is a way, and it's an index that you can measure daily called heart rate variability. Heart rate variability essentially is letting you know how strong or how effective your body is at flexibly navigating stress, pivoting from emotion to emotion on demand, shifting thoughts, letting go and then focusing, letting go and then focusing. The entire system, the autonomic nervous system in the body, that either amps us up to fight or puts us into flow to perform at our peak, is related to heart rate variability. We want it to be at a high number for ourselves. And my HRV is different than yours, so you have to know what your range is. But one way to do it there are apps on your phone that actually allow you to measure HRV. There's also an app via Elite HRV. They have a sensor, Core Sense. It's about a little over $100 that you can have on your phone, and you can actually just do a 2-minute reading. My whole family does it. I do it. My husband does it. My 5-year-old daughter.
Nice.
This was not mommy putting it on her. She did it. Mommy and daddy do it. But it's great. And we all have a metric to know, I need to get more sleep, or something I ate, or I ate too late last night. I'm not quite at my peak level. And you're able to more consistently perform because you can then moderate your behaviors during that day to raise your HRV.
I love that. And I hope, everyone listening in, I hope you just, you absorb that right there. These are ways you could practice HRV at home so easily and consistently, in my opinion. That's, I think that's another part of the equation for anything in life. You need to be consistent because that creates momentum and that creates commitment. And when when you're committed, that's when you create great things. So everyone listening in, that's great. And I'll make sure to share this as well after we're done, so everyone can hear it again. So let's talk about your book. So it's out this week, correct?
Super exciting. I have to tell you, this has been such a life-changing process for my patients. Life-changing. Yeah. The way I got started and really still build my business is referral, and people go through this. They say it changed my life. They send me their friends and family, and it's incredible. And my hope is to reach more people than I can see directly. Sure. And from students going back to school to the military to people that follow you, building businesses, changing the world. And so this book is targeted to everybody so that they can really tap into their potential, perform at their full level of aptitude consistently. So we're all changing the world together. It came out yesterday.
I love that. Yesterday.
Yes, thank you. It's
good job. Congrats.
Okay. And it outlines the specific methodology to to monitor your HRV daily, and to amplify it. The idea here is, I love psychology, but there's a faster way to make changes. If you address your physiology first and shift it so that you can get into flow, it will expedite every cognitive technique you are introduced to or just practice.
I love it. And where can someone purchase it?
Via Amazon, Heart, Breath, Mind,
Okay.
or Barnes and
Perfect.
Noble, major bookstores. Just go online, and most major bookstores are carrying it. But Barnes and Noble and Amazon are real quick ways to do it.
Perfect. Perfect. Now I know that one of your motives for, for writing the book was, like you said, to touch those that you can't see. Are there any other reasons why you really wanted or decided to write this book?
My goal in this lifetime is to change as many lives as possible. And
That's a good goal.
and this book was written pre-COVID, but gosh, it feels, and it gives me goosebumps to think that maybe it had a bigger purpose than I ever even knew.
Yeah.
You're all dealing with uncertainty and challenge, and we all have to find new creative ways that are effective and scientifically based. When stress goes up, we have to have more and more tools to manage it.
Love it. That's perfect. I really appreciate this, Leah. Now, if someone wanted to follow you or connect with you, where can they go?
Sure. My website is Dr. Leah, Leah, Lagos, Lagos.com. I'm also on Twitter, and you can follow me with the same handle, Dr. Leah Lagos.
Perfect. Leah, this has been great. I really appreciate this. I found so much value in chatting with you because, being an athlete and now a business leader, I just, we're aligned and we're speaking the same language here. So I really do appreciate this. And thank you for taking, some time of your afternoon to chat with us. For everyone listening in, thank you for joining us. Please stay safe, stay well, and go buy Leah's book.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Have a good one. Bye.